This isn't made for these big 43 passenger school buses. We're going to give the engine a moment to do the talking. It's a little bit loud up here. But yeah, so that turn wasn't made for these big 43 passenger school buses. It's actually made for a different sort of vehicle. You can see the evidence of that in the forest around us. You guys see how sort of dense the forest is here? You might notice some stumps out there as well. This area was completely clear cut back in the 1960s. Completely clear cut in the 1960s. And this road was made for those sort of hinged logging vehicles. But because it was clear cut, it created this strange rebound growth forest. So this isn't naturally how the temperate rainforest would look. And this is really dense. The soil already had all those nutrients in it. So once it was cut down, all of the trees just sort of shot straight up, fighting for the sun, really closely packed. It means that in a large bear, an 800-pound brown bear, a moose with a 6-foot rack, you're not going to want to walk through here. And there's just not enough space here. And I don't think any of us out here really have a problem with logging. It's a completely renewable resource. It's just that it needs to be managed correctly. If it's not managed, then you end up with stretches like this, which create an area that the animals can't naturally pass through anymore. Just as we're making this turn here, that's actually the end of the logging road. This road here was created for the tour. It was actually created, the road for the tour was created by the same guy that originally created that road for the logging. It's interesting because it just shows how the economy has sort of altered here in Alaska. Moved from logging, that sort of stuff, to more of the ecotourism type ventures. But you'll also see on your left-hand side here, the forest is much more open. And this is where the animals are going to be walking around. This is the sort of habitat that they're more interested in hanging out in. Do you guys have any other questions? Stuff that you're seeing around you? You want to hear about rhizobium? I really like rhizobium. Nobody ever wants to hear about it. Listen to my voice here, excuse me. Rhizobium is a bacteria that grows on the roots, especially like the alders here, and it fixes the nitrogen levels. So in the process of adding nutrients to the soil, the nitrogen levels in the soil also have to be altered. It's that rhizobium that does it. Now, if people don't have questions for me, I always tell them I'll talk about rhizobium the entire time. If you don't ask me anything, I've done it before, I'll do it again. So if you guys are on my canoe, keep that in mind, okay?
Do you refer to it as second growth then, where the logging was? What do you refer to?
It could be referred to as secondary growth. We usually call it rebound growth. Secondary growth, in my opinion, has a lot more to do with sort of natural causes, having a fire go through, something like that, where you get secondary growth species that actually need that fire. The fire can be a natural process, and they need that fire to go through. The rebound growth is more of a completely unnatural way that the forest was altered there. Yep. And it looks like we're up here at our pavilion. I have a tendency to lose track of time. You guys may have noticed that I'm really good at talking. Really good at talking. But we are up at our... Really use that trail. Yeah. And ladies, we don't want to discriminate. If you want that true Alaskan experience, you head right down the road there. Use our older room. Again, smells like alders 24/7. I mentioned we haven't had a lot of rain, so please find a tree, water it, love it, make it your own. After you've taken care of all of that business, sort of walk down through our pavilion here. You'll see some jackets there. Walk down through there. Might hand you an extra jacket. It's about 15 to 20 degrees colder in front of the glacier. So if you get cold easily, if you're from someplace like Christy said, Texas, Florida, someplace where it's warm, doesn't get cold like this, you might want an extra layer. And I think we'll probably also be doing rain jackets today. It works as a nice sort of wind barrier. And it looks like it could rain out there, so that'll keep you nice and dry. Once you get that jacket, walk on back. There'll be somebody there passing out boots. Okay, you're going to tell them your shoe size, just regular shoe size. they're going to do this complex mathematical equation involving addition, subtraction, all that fancy stuff. They're going to figure out what size boot to give you, okay? It won't be the number that you told them necessarily. It's not a problem. We'll get it sorted out. You're going to take those boots and come and sit over on these benches here. Take your shoes off and clip your shoes together. Leave them underneath the bench and put our boots on. Okay? Then we'll head on through the forest to the glacier. If you guys would do me a favor.
Well, that was fun. I haven't actually peed by a tree for like quite a long time. But it's true.
And this is with official approval.
Yeah, that's right. So this is the tree peeing for the males, and then the females use the 4 toilets available, which doesn't smell very good, I'm sure.
We got some people back at one.
Really? Still right at home.
Give you extra layers then.
This is Mom.
Okay. We're going to have a quick safety walk.